I had an idea. I wanted to kill the Wither, but I don't want to kill the Wither in any way. I want to kill him in a way that has never been done before. I'm going to kill him with an army of dogs. So I have a couple of bones laying around, but I think that the actual painful part is going to be finding and getting all the dogs. So the first thing I needed was to acquire some potions, and I got everything I needed and was ready to take on the challenge. So I grabbed my horse and we went out onto an adventure to find all of the dogs that I would need. After looking and looking, eventually our luck paid off. Okay, let's go. Eventually, our numbers started growing as our luck increased. Satisfied as the day went, I decided to go home as a genius idea came into my head. Instead of looking for the dogs myself and only getting 3 to 4 a day, I could breed them, making the process a lot easier. And then the first part of the plan that failed happened very fast. It was okay though, because at least I was able to breed the dogs, and once I saw this, I knew we would win. All I would do for the next 5 days was breed dogs, make potions, breed dogs again, make more potions, and breed dogs. Eventually our potions finished and were stacking up, which I put in our war chest. This is when I realized that our army was just getting way too big for my home. I had to bring the dogs out of my house because they were drowning in the water, so I brought them to higher, flat land where they could rest. And at this point, our army looked like this. It's actually not that many. I started to run out of rotten flesh, so I went over and did some nice borrowing from other people. I also went to this person's house, and they were kind of broke, but you know what? That's okay because they still had rotten flesh, because who doesn't have rotten flesh? And then I took a visit to this person's house, who also had a lot of rotten flesh and would help us get to our goal. After all this hard work, our army was finally growing. Some mobs volunteered as a test for our dogs, and it looked like we actually had a chance. I started to breed with the last little bit of rotten flesh, and all that was needed left was for the dogs to grow. I had to sleep in other people's houses because of how big the army was, and I went back to my house to make preparations for the war. I grabbed very needed things such as golden apples, and I also enchanted my bow with power 5. I grabbed all of the potions that we had prepared and made some buckets of milk for the withering effect. At this point, I felt that we were finally ready, and all that was needed was for me to find a cow. After 30 minutes of searching, I found no cows at all. I don't know why there were no cows spawning, but maybe it was because I had 50 dogs. I don't know, but I don't think so. The game is just rigged. It doesn't want me to find a cow. Everything was going fine. As I was looking around and looking at my dogs, I made a massive error and ended up falling into a deep hole. And if I know anything about dogs, is that they will follow you, even till their death. When I got me and the dogs out of the hole, the only thing I needed now to fight the Wither was a cow. Eventually, I got lucky enough. I filled up my milk buckets, and now I was able to fight the Wither. Before the fight, I wanted to give my dogs one final last speech, and then it was time to kill it. As I looked around, I wanted to see at least one dog that had survived. I saw none, and that I was the only one left. I picked up their remains as a sign of respect and thought of a way I could bury them. Oh, look, a nether star! I knew there was only one way to pay back what they had given me. I would bury them all in a place that all things were put to rest. I crafted the beacon, which they sacrificed for, and I headed over to the graveyard. As I placed the beacon around the gravestones with no problem, I put the remains around the burial. Wait a minute. Wait. Is that speed 1?